Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another week of me trying to be profitable and earn a payout. And this week was another pretty slow week, just making that consistent slow progress for only executing on my system and just taking those base hits. And I've been focusing on sticking to that and just following that to the best of my ability. And yeah, I think it's been going pretty well actually. Didn't get that many trades this week due to bank holiday and no news Tuesday, which I avoided trading on, but yeah, I still think I did pretty alright. But yeah, with that out of the way, let's get into this week's trades. Alrighty boys, so today we seem to be pretty conflicted as we are respecting bullish with Inwog and we are retesting into this 4-hour fair value gap, which is some bullish indication, though the only thing I don't like is that I can't really be too sure on where price would reverse. And looking at the low time frame, we seem to be pretty bullish currently as we do have some bullish imbalances which we are respecting, though we do have a wick sweep currently of a high which also conflicts with that bias. So low-key not the cleanest price action, and I'm not too sure if I'll be able to trade today, but I'll keep waiting and give price the opportunity to develop. And the setup came actually pretty quick today, honestly. Price ended up retesting deeper into these low time frame imbalances and we got a nice reaction from it. We shifted higher on the 1 minute, which was the confirmation I needed, and because of that I didn't hesitate to enter in. Price ended up running pretty nicely initially with us getting some nice volume higher. We did start stalling out at this next candle, but we got that little bounce that we needed to tap my target for a smaller win today. And yeah, there's not much I have to say for today's setup. It was pretty clear after price got that nice retest into those low time imbalances. Since we had the high time imbalances above its targets, I was pretty confident too, and I targeted a smaller R today since we had no news Monday, which I did anticipate to have smaller volume. That ended up working out pretty well, since if I had targeted emotionally I would have missed the target and ended up hitting break even in the end. And I did mess up in the sizing calculation, which is why the win is a bit smaller today, but it's all good. It's a rookie mistake and I should keep a clear idea of what sizing I can go for. I did play it safer in the end, and yeah, A+ setup for today, so I entered mechanically and price now running really well. So yeah, smaller win for today, which I'm happy with.
Like a Hellcat.
Okay, so today seemed to be pretty bullish as we were trending higher on the high time frame and were respecting these imbalances over here. We also had this wick sweep on the hourly here, which made me lean heavily into longs because there was just too much to ignore low key. And looking at the low time frame, we seem to be pretty bullish too, as we do have a 15-minute order block and a 5-minute order block, which price had just retested into. We had also retested into the 15-minute golden zone, which is pretty good because if we did get some confirmation, then I can confidently get into a setup. Going into the setup, price ended up getting a pretty decent pump higher, giving us a 5-minute continuation. Price ended up getting a retest into a 1-minute order block, which was also overlapped with the golden zone, and which is why I opted in lower to wait for a shift. And we got a shift on the 15-second, which is where I decided to enter into the setup. And the setup was pretty clean, though unfortunately we landed on the wrong side of probability and price came crashing down to stop me out for a loss. And for today, I think the trade was alright. It was A+ from all the confirmations I got: that 4-hour plus 1-hour fair value gap and the hourly wick sweep, the 15 and 5-minute order block, the 15-minute golden zone and the 1-minute order block and golden zone, and then also that 15-second shift higher. The confirmation was really good for the setup and I took it without hesitation. It was just quite unfortunate that it didn't play out, but it's all good. Had I waited a bit more, I could have gotten maybe a better entry, but that entry would have gotten stopped out as well in the end. So yeah, sometimes it just is like that. It's just to be expected with any trading system. Alright, so for today we seem to be pretty bearish as we had just slipped out some liquidity with this 4-hour and 1-hour wick sweep. And we also had this 4-hour order block and 1-hour fair value gap below, which I reckon we could use as a target too, since we are showing those bearish signs. And on the low time frame, I wanted to see if price would also reflect that. We had this 5-minute order block for bearish, which does add on to that, and I wanted to see if price respects this level. We do have this 15-minute gap below though, which could be used as an earlier target or a break-even point. And going into this trade, we got it pretty quickly after we got a respect of the 5-minute order block and created a 1 minute inverse fair value gap. I entered off the 1 minute IFG and priced this stall around for a little bit. We ended up shifting lower and confirmed the downtrend again, which is where I topped up my contracts, and we ended up getting a nice push lower, and the trade ended up running really quickly as we hit our TP shortly after. And for today, it was a pretty nice setup again. The trade was A+, and I took over hesitation. Only thing was that I messed up the sizing again, as I thought that the price running lower would mean that I could only enter a fewer contracts, but it's all good. It's still within what I was aiming for, so I followed my plan, which is the important thing. So yeah, another good day to round off the week. Alright, so that about does it for this week. Pretty chill week again, didn't get too many opportunities, but managed to take some A+ setups that worked out pretty well, and I think I'm making good progress. It just takes a bit of time. Looking back to where I was like a few weeks ago, maybe a few months ago, I definitely think that I've taken good steps, like only choosing to take those A+ setups after reviewing my data, and that made me realize that, you know, those A and B setups weren't serving me. And another thing was that I just felt a lot more anxious before about taking trades, but it's so much more plain and simple now because I feel more calm when I trade because I know what I'm looking for. And I think that these changes have really had an impact, and it's starting to show for both through my P&L and my mental state, and I just feel a lot more confident in my ability to execute and follow my system. And yeah, that's about it for this week. So yeah, check out the Discord if you guys are interested. And yeah, that's about it for this one. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.